From the Dogfish Head Brewery, San Calagione.
It's been a long, strange, but wonderful trip.
From the Boston Beer Company, Jim Cook. Welcome back to the Friday Beer Buzz, Jim.
Well, it's nice to be back.
Here normally from Aberdeenshire in Scotland. From Brewdog, we have James Watt and Martin Dickey. Welcome to the show, guys.
Biggest mission today is just to make other people passionate about great craft beers as we are.
And now, the three-time winner of the Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters Excellence in Broadcasting Award, the recipient of 2 Pennsylvania Associated Press Broadcasters Association Awards for Excellence, promoting and advancing the craft and microbrew culture in Northeast PA. This is another edition of
The Friday Beer Buzz!
Well, that was quite spirited. The Friday Beer Buzz, powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter. Sabatini's, the area's greatest selection of rare craft and imported beers, growlers and crowlers, and 37 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue in Exeter. We have Lindo Sabatini with us as usual. Good morning, Lindo.
Good morning.
Making deliveries for us as well.
Yes, I got the stuff from the blueberry cider. Thank you.
Bracelet cider, oh yeah.
Yum, yum, yum. All right, and we have Bill from mybeerbuzz.com, of course, with all the latest beer news. Hi, Bill.
Hey, happy Friday.
Happy
Johnny
Friday.
and I were talking before we came on the air, and he was telling me what day it is, National, and I thought it was Anesthetician's Day. I thought we were going to be knocking somebody out in the studio.
No, that's anesthesiologist. I made the same comment earlier. It's
No, it's esthetician.
and they have their day today.
What does that mean?
That, like the
never
salon,
heard that
the
word.
spa, the waxing, the
No, I don't know anything about that.
Does your wife know anything about that?
But she doesn't tell me I'm paying for that.
You are paying for it. Makes her happy, though.
We assume so much, don't we?
Yes.
Bill, what's going on in the world of beer news?
So our beer news today comes to us from Michigan, from Florida, from North Carolina, and from California. Let's start with Michigan. Michigan is Bell's Brewing Company from Comstock, Michigan. They are coming out with a beer called Brillosa, and that is B-R-I-L-L-O-S-A. And it's going to be something unusual for Bell's because they don't do a lot of this style of beer. It's going to be a Vienna-style lager, and they don't do a lot of lager. It will be part of the Celebration series, and the word is actually Spanish for shiny. So I guess it's going to be a shiny beer that hits 5% ABV, and that will see 12-ounce bottles. Also coming from Bell's, we have a new variant of Two-Hearted Ale, and we love Two-Hearted Ale. We love Double Two-Hearted Ale. Double Two is legendary when we go to the beach with my family. Someone always manages to bring that. But they are coming out with something called Cold Hearted. And it's been rebranded a few times before it's been released. And it is a cold IPA, which is kind of an interesting style. And it is dry hopped with Centennial. And a lot of people, this cold IPA, this new sort of IPA style, lends itself toward almost being a lager because it is cold fermented. And that's one of the things that distinguishes a lager yeast from an ale yeast. So I'm anxious actually to try that one. I'm not a huge lager fan, but cold IPA sounds like something that that I would like. We have a little bit of buyout / news. We've talked about 8,000 breweries, small craft breweries that are surviving out there, and some not so much. So I'm sad to report that Due South Brewing and Due South Brands, and they're out of Boynton Beach, Florida. And they're closing their facilities on December 19th. They just came upon the lease renewal of their building and COVID both at the same time, and it just was apparently too much. So they're moving on. All their equipment is for sale. Sad to see that, but maybe someone will pick it up and take off from there. In the buyout realm, Oyster City Brewing's parent company, now I'm not really familiar with Oyster City, but their parent company is acquiring Catawba Valley Brewing. And if you recall, just a scant year or so ago, we reported that Catawba was acquiring Palmetto Brewing in South Carolina. And so Oyster City's parent company will have acquired both of those, as well as a brand called Twist. And I know Twist, when I hear it, it reminds me of one of the breakfast cereals I had as a kid. But Twist is their hard seltzer. So the Oyster City Brewing parent company will also own Twist. And our last little tidbit comes out of California from Firestone Walker Brewing Company. They are going to release 2022 Parabola Bourbon Imperial Stout, one of my favorites, 14% ABV, really strong beer. They're also doing 2022 Paraboloid, and that is Parabola aged 2 years in 14 to 18-year-old whiskey barrels. That one hits 15%. And if that's not enough fun, they're doing 2022 Cherry Parabola. And that's an Imperial Stout aged in brandy barrels and in cherry bitters barrels. And that one only hits 13.9. So if we group that sort of the sessionable Parabola beer for 2022. But that's our beer news for the day. As always, you can click on the Breaking Beer News tab on mybeerbuzz.com to find more.
Find more. There's lots of stuff there. All right, so we're kind of skipping over to a next holiday. We're like, we're probably...
We're the next.
Yeah,
right?
we're the next. Like, we've already done Pumpkin Man. We're moving on to Ho, Ho, Ho. What we got here, Lindo?
We thought it would be an interesting angle. Last week, Lindo and I were trading messages after the show, and he sent me a photo of a beer that had arrived sort of early, and not so much early, and that's the beer we're going to feature today. But we're really talking today about seasonal creep. And when I say seasonal creep, I'm not talking about drunk old Uncle Bob at the holiday party.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how beers come out earlier and earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Our beer today, we traditionally feature it in December, even though it is traditionally available in mid-November. It is out now. You can get it at Sabatini's. It comes from San Francisco, California, and the Anchor Brewing Company. And it's Anchor Brewing Company, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2021, or as we like to call it and they like to call it, Our Special Ale 2021. And it's arrived in full force, right, Linda?
It sure has. I mean, for this beer to land in the first, I mean, we got it last week, so we're getting Christmas beer in the first week of October. I got our pumpkin beer started coming in June. I mean, you wonder why they do it so early. I mean, yeah, logistically it makes sense trying to get it out there.
Are they trying to also, I'm just curious, because of the worries about shipping issues later, is it not smarter to have this stuff out? And from what I understand with holiday stuff, you know, I would say get this while you can, right, Lindo? I mean, if you're, this is a big gift giver too.
100%. I mean, last year this beer we barely got any, and I don't know what happened, if it was COVID related or maybe something happened in the pipeline, but they didn't get very much. For them to tell me, hey, you want our special ale is going to come in next week, I'm like, what?
Wow. Okay. Yes.
Already, I mean, I kind of still have Oktoberfest on draft. I mean, I don't know. But it
stores well, though, right?
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
It'll be fine.
This is great.
This is a beer you can actually age, and I have bottles from as many as 20-some years ago. So it ages really, really well. It's seasonal creep. You know, we talk about it all the time. Traditionally, in June or July, people start saying, "Oh my God, pumpkin beers are coming out already. Why are pumpkin beers out?" And we've asked. We've asked it on the show. I've asked again leading into this show about seasonal creep, and the answers are fairly common in that pumpkin beers, and you know, we'll say generically pumpkin beers and Christmas beers are very popular. So the breweries have to make a lot of them. And so it's not easy to necessarily squeeze in the big production of one or two beers that are holiday seasonal into your production schedule. So they brew them early. Then they run into a second problem. They have tons and tons of pumpkin beers in June and July, and they don't have the warehouse space to necessarily store these beers. So what happens is, what you're seeing now is that in October, you know, we're seeing Christmas beers. In June and July, we're seeing pumpkin beers and Oktoberfest beers and traditional fall beers. So it's really more about, you know, demand first off. You know, people demand these beers. and supply and brewing schedules and warehouse space. They just don't have the warehouse space to store it all.
And the first ones that come out, they also get the shelf space first. So
Right.
if you're late to the game, getting your pumpkin out late or whatever, somebody's like, I don't need any more pumpkin ales. I'm already filled up. I don't have any more shelf space.
Ah, yeah,
So
that
like,
makes sense.
something like this, I mean, so far we have Anchor, we have Southern Tier Xmas came in, Shiner Cheer came in. So these beers are already all hitting us.
Right.
They're going to get that shelf
They're
space.
going to get there first,
They got-
right?
I was going to joke, like, wow, think of a random holiday and go, are they sending stuff in? But then I'm thinking that's what happens before summer, Memorial Day. They send stuff in very early to kind of own the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very similar, just different holidays, right?
Vickery, Merry Monkey already has their display on the floor.
Merry Monkey.
They're where they want to be. So I mean, like that. You come out early enough. You also get the floor space. But this beer, every year, Bill, it does change a little bit every year, right?
Right, a little bit, right?
It does, yeah, it absolutely does. And just one last little tidbit on the creep part. Nancy was right. This year with COVID and last year with COVID, people were worried about their shipping schedules and shipping delays, and so they did push it out. But yeah, so our Special Ale 2021, it's a winter warmer style. They do tweak it every year. We've had their brewmaster, VP of production and logistics on every year prior to COVID, Scott Ungerman. And Scott would explain it really, really well in that they like to change it a little bit every year, but it still has that same core package of flavors. Now for 2021, this is the 47th version of this beer. They've been doing it since 1975, and this one hits 7% ABV, which right out of the gate you'll note is probably the strongest one they've ever done. Last year was 6.9%, this year 7%. And it's a secret recipe. And as many times as we've told Jeremy and Mark Carpenter, the brewmaster before that for a long, long time, that it's just us here quietly in a room, you can tell us the secret recipe, they would not do it.
No, they're not.
They would not give us a secret recipe.
Bill, they tweaked it this year. It's definitely different than other years. I can't believe how dark it's pouring into the glass. I mean, I don't remember having this color. And I'm telling you, it's roastiness.
It is.
Malty.
It's really like
really
nutty.
delicious.
Chestnut, I'm thinking like you said, roasting. It definitely has that flavor.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so I would say I know that people feel like things may not be there as they get closer to the holidays, so it's a good one to stock up on now. As you said, it holds well over time. So
Yeah, giddy up.
Giddy up is right. All right, so it is Anchor Brewing Company, our special ale. Look for the little Christmas tree. It's very vintage on the bottle. And it's all the Friday Beer Buzz, powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter. The area's greatest selection of rare craft and imported beers. Growlers and crowlers and 37 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue in Exeter. Thank you, Bill, from mybeerbuzz.com.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you, Lindo. See you,
thank you.
Sabatini's. Thank
Thank
you.
you for bringing me the stuff from last week, my wife.
Awesome.
Good stuff. The Friday Beer Buzz. Bringing good beers and good people together.